What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Ask the Skinny Guy Savior. I'm Vince Del Monte. As you can see, we are downstairs in the official Gym Del Monte. If you missed the last episode, then you wouldn't have heard me say that everything just got finished up. All the heavy-duty equipment got brought in and set up by National Fitness Products. Thank you, by the way, to NFP. You guys did a great job, and I'll give you guys a tour another time. I want to show you around and talk to you about some of the pieces in here, and obviously pretty cool because we're going to be announcing Hypertrophy Max muscle camps for the year 2013 and going on, and a lot of you guys, we'd love to have you. We'd like to invite you to come train here in this gym, get the Pekowski, the Del Monte experience. So stay tuned for that. Now to the point of the show, which is to answer your questions in 60 seconds or less. And I promise I'm going to do the clock this time because I've been really abusing the 60-second stop clock this time. So here we go. So Terrence asked a great question. He says, I'm a beginner bodybuilder and I'm trying to figure out, how long before I can start using supplements. So here's how to look at supplements. You really need to ask yourself, what system or what situation am I trying to target? What am I trying to improve? Why do I need a supplement in the first place? The reason you use supplements, the reason you use what would be known as essential supplements, things you can find in your food like vitamins, minerals, amino acids, essential fatty acids, phytochemicals, phytonutrients, is because you're not getting sufficient amounts in your diet. So if you're like, I'm not getting enough greens, then you're probably deficient in these vitamins and the minerals, and that's why you would say, okay, I should take a supplement to bring my levels up. On the other end, if you're looking for a certain performance goal, maybe you're looking to improve your strength, your endurance, your work capacity, there's a whole line of products that would help you target that goal. And those are what I call situational supplements. So what you really need to get clear on is not, am I ready to use supplements? You have to ask yourself, are there any weak links in my diet that I could improve? If you're not going to do it with your diet, with supplements, okay? That's how you think about supplements. Next question goes to Clayton Foster. Clayton says, hey Vince, I'm 18 years old and was wondering about your thoughts on two-a-days. For example, light cardio and abs in the morning and strength training in the evening. Okay, so it depends on your goal. If your goal is to maximize muscularity and lose fat, then I would flip it around. And what I would do is have a meal first, so you have some food in your body, and then hit the weights in the morning time, and then do your cardio right before your last meal in the day. So if your last meal in the day was going to be around 8 p.m., you go into the gym around 6:30. Do your cardio, your abs, and then have one more meal. That would be far more effective for maximizing muscularity and fat loss than the way you had it. Two-a-days are fine. Remember, there's going to just be more overall accumulative stress on your body. So two-a-days is something that I would periodize into a long-term training program. And you may cycle periods of two-a-days for 3 weeks and then go down to one a week for 3 weeks and then go back to 3 days for 3 weeks and then back down. So that's called alternating periodization. So 2 days are fine. It really depends on the intensity. But the main thing I would recommend if you are going to do 2 days is flip that around. Weights in the morning, cardio at night. Far better for muscularity and maximizing fat loss. Next question goes to Joseph Holyfield. Joseph says, hey Vince, what's the best method of progression on the barbell row? I find it hard to make steady progress with increasing the weight. So I'm not sure what you mean by progression. There's a lot of different ways that we can progress the barbell row. One thing you could start doing, and this is something that you guys have probably never seen done before, and this is in a phenomenal way to increase your grip strength, but also ultimately your lat strength when you come back to normal grip, is to, believe it or not, of this fully equipped gym here, I don't even think I have wrist straps in here. I rarely ever use wrist straps, and I just thought of it, I don't have wrist straps in here. But here's what you would do. Visualize your barbell right here, and what you would do is you would put your wrist straps around the barbell, and you would grip the wraps so the bar is hanging, it's suspended by the wrap. So the only thing you're holding on to is a little thin wrap, and then you do your barbell rows by holding on to the wraps. That's going to be the most insane pump you get in your forearms, and in turn you're going to make incredible gains on your arms, which is going to ultimately help you make greater gains on your back when you go back to a normal grip. So again, that would just be again another example of manipulating hand grip to bring up the weaker links. And we'll definitely do a demonstration of that down here. After I spent all this money on this gym, I forgot to get $8 wrist wraps. So I'll make sure I do that so we can demonstrate that, because it's an awesome way to progress your barbell rows. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it. And I have to give credit to Charles Polk who showed me that at one of his camps. Luke Orchard, he says, hey Vince, when I'm doing a bulk, I find that my midsection expands loads. I love that. Hey Vince, when I'm doing a bulk, I find that my midsection expands loads. I'm sure this is not just body fat. Gain. Could it be because of my high carb intake? That's really thanks. Really enjoying these videos. Definitely. So most guys who gain fat during a bulk, it's primarily because of more carbs than you need. You just haven't earned them all. So remember, if you take in food that you haven't earned, it's got to get stored somewhere, and that's typically as excess body fat. It gets stored on different parts of your body. So yes, you've answered your own question. What you need to do is figure out first off how many carbs you're eating. And let's say you're taking in 600 grams per day. The first thing I would do is to pull it back. Pull it back 25%. That would make a great improvement, but that's only going to help you manage your current body composition. If you actually want to get rid of that body fat, I'd also recommend you add 3 25-minute cardio sessions per week and make it interval cardio. Alternate, 30 seconds of sprinting, 30 seconds of walking, and just do that for, I said 25 minutes, 20 minutes would probably be more appropriate, and just do that 3 times a week to start bringing that belly back down. So, and keep that cardio in there. If you keep it intense and short, you won't strip any muscle, and you're gonna really help improve your insulin sensitivity, your ability to use nutrients better, and you won't get fat in the process. So you've just experienced what most guys do, and you just need to self-correct it, okay? Okay, last question for today goes to Tyler Francis. He says, hey Vince, I'm 19 years old, 6 foot tall, 150 pounds, looking to get up to 180. I'm also in college. What is the best way for me to put on 30 pounds of muscle living off cafeteria food? So Tyler, I can easily help you with this. Just so you know, I had the exact same stats as you when I was in university. I used to be 140, 150 pounds. All through cross-country season. Now, I wasn't into bodybuilding in college, but I still had to eat healthy. I mean, at least I made the best choices I could to perform with my, as a runner, as a collegiate runner. And I lived in residence as well in my first year. I lived in Saugeen Maitland, the University of Western Ontario, so I lived off of cafeteria food there. And here's how I would suggest you doing it. Every time you go into the cafeteria, you want to get a plate, and you want to look at it in terms of 4 quadrants. Now, quadrant number 1 is going to have vegetables, okay? And you want your plate to be about 25% vegetables. So look for the vegetables as soon as you get in there. Where are the veggies? And put 25% of fill your plate with 25% vegetables. The next thing you want to do is fill your plate with about 25% protein. So ask yourself, okay, where's the protein? Where's the protein? Where's the protein? There it is. And take the protein, put about 25% on your plate. Now you've got 50% left. You're gonna divvy that up between, it's gonna kind of change here. So, around your workout times, I would say 50% of the plate is gonna be carbohydrates. So you can do everything from rices to potatoes to pasta to whole grain, bread to beans. Fill up 50% of your plate with carbs, and make sure that's done, before the workout and after the workout. And then on days that you're not training, fill that section of the plate up with more fats. You might even add a little more protein, and fats would be adding some olive oil to your salad, avocado, mixed nuts, and have some healthy fats in there as well. So essentially that's what you want to do. Avoid the juices, avoid all the liquid calories. The only time you want to get your liquid calories is you might want to invest in a protein powder and have 2 scoops in between classes or in between your meals. So aim for 5 meals a day. So you're eating 3 in your cafeteria, maybe 1 protein shake right after your workout with some Gatorade, and then another time in the day in between classes, just have 2 scoops of protein with a handful of nuts, and just keep your nutrition simple. I would follow those rules and you'll do great. You'll come out of college looking 30 pounds bigger, and then you can get into some of the fancier stuff once you get home and you get into your own kitchen, okay? All right, so there you have it. That's another episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do so today. And what I've done for you guys today is I've put some cool resources for you below. All you have to do is click that button that says show more, and you'll see that I always give you guys something special, something free, something that's additional to the info that we just talked about, usually a follow-up. Sometimes I make recommendations to either one of my paid programs or one of my business partners' paid programs. And that's because it's probably a specific solution to a specific problem that was addressed in the episode. So we all know that, advice is great, but at certain times you need to take that advice and get it organized. And that's when it's great to consider investing in an actual program where you get all the information actually organized into a system. Everybody says, I don't know why people buy, programs on the internet. Everything's free. Well, of course, but that goes for every profession. All the information to fix your car out there is free as well, but would you still fix it yourself? You know what I'm saying? So to have a professional organize all these details for you into a step-by-step solution is very, very helpful for a lot of people. And even myself, a guy who's been training for 10 years, I still like somebody to write my programs. Someone who will make me do things I wouldn't do on my own, or I don't know, or have me do it in different ways and get me to not think about anything, but just to execute. So that's why I like recommending paid programs to you guys. It also gets you guys a little more invested, right? It's one thing to download a free program off the internet where you have nothing at stake. It's another thing to spend a couple of your own hard-earned dollars on a program. You're like, well, heck, I just spent this much money. I'm definitely gonna have to follow it now, right? So ultimately, investing in things, from my experience, benefits you the most. And that's why I have no problem investing in knowledge and seminars and courses and books, because I know I'm ultimately going to benefit more than the person who wrote it or created it for me. So just a little side rant. I felt that was helpful for some of you guys to understand why I make recommendations to programs that aren't always free but do have price tags attached to them. It's primarily because the information is organized for you, so it eliminates all the time and effort that you would have to put into figuring it out yourself. All right, until next time, I'm Vince Del Monte, and we'll see you soon.